This is Paige Harvey of Frontier Developments, wishing a very happy new year to all of the Loose Screws podcast listeners. Fly safe, Commanders.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening. This is Commander Jay on Trax butting in to tell you that the route and waypoints for our Distant Screws expedition is now public on EDSM. I'll be heading out on my first trip to Colonia and Sagittarius A-Star, and I'll be live streaming the whole thing, so anyone who's curious about what the trip is like, but not ready to commit to going on their own, can follow along in the experience. The route stops by many famous and beautiful locations on its way out and on the way back. And in between those, we'll try to get off the well-worn road and see if we can find some new systems never seen before. The streams will happen on Tuesday nights starting around 7:30 Eastern Time from March 3rd, with the last stream taking place on April 28th. In addition, there will be 3 streams on weekend days during hours when UK visitors will be able to watch and participate. All 12 episodes will also be archived on YouTube so they can be replayed anytime. During the streams, I want to bring commanders from the community into Multicrew and chat about the galaxy and whatever else is going on. We'll use the Loose Screws Discord for voice comms so everyone can join in. If you're interested in riding along, message me on Discord and tell me which episode you'd be able to be a part of. If any commanders want to fly their own ships out with me on the trip, send me a message for that too. If 10 or more sign up, we can make it an official expedition on EDSM. Go to tinyurl.com/distantscrews for the routes page on EDSM and come to the events channel in the Loose Screws Discord for questions and discussions about this event. And now, without further delay, switch on the Super Cruise Assist, align ship with target, get some snacks, and settle in for the Loose Screws podcast.
Hey guys, it is February 20th, 2020. There's a lot of twos in that date, by the way, I just realized. February 20th, 2020, this is episode 25 of Loose Screws. I'm your host, Ty Worsham, and this is episode 25. Now, I kind of want to talk for just a minute because for people that don't know, I like to talk or don't like to talk, depending on my mental state at the moment. But I started this back in August 23rd of 2019. And that doesn't seem like it's a long time ago. And while we technically have more than 25 episodes because of the interviews that we've done, this is our 25th episode that is airing as the numerical order. So we're going to do this episode a little bit different than we have done all the other episodes. So with that in mind, let me bring in my co-pilot and co-host and my friend, Commander Kai. How's it going there, buddy?
Hey, brother. I'm doing fantastic. I'm flying spaceships, so big smile on my face. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's been kind of a rough week, like work-wise, but it has been a really good week in video game world.
Right on, man. I know somebody's excited for a little Baldur's Gate announcement.
Yeah, I want to talk about that for a minute. So next week, I think it's 7 days from now.
Right.
We get Baldur's Gate. Let me rephrase that. So 3 weeks or 7 days from now, we get a gameplay video for Baldur's Gate 3. And there's a lot of people out there who may not know what Baldur's Gate 3 is because they're questioning, well, where is 1 and 2? 1 and 2 were released in I think 96 and 99 or something like that.
Yeah, a while back.
And they have a special place in my heart because they pretty much started me into computer RPGs.
Right
and oh man, when they announced Baldur's Gate 3, like back in November or October or whatever the hell it was, I was like a little kid at a candy store it's exciting. And then I think it was Google Stadia leaked that Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be released in September, which means that Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be released in September now because of the pushback. And Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be released in September, which I can only assume to mean that Ty Worsham is going to be completely absent for the month of September from everything. He's going to be absent from work. He's going to be showing up late. He's going to be sick all the time. He might have the flu for the entire show. I don't know. It's a little crazy, little crazy, you know?
Mm.
And, man, you know, I am, they released like a little behind the scenes, like 1 minute video last week, and it just kind of got me drooling. And, man, the company making this company called Larian. A lot of people don't know who Larian is.
Larian Games, bro.
Yeah, they make the Divinity series, which I think the Original Sin 2 is pretty much the best CRPG out right now. The closest one I might be able to give you is Pillars of Eternity 2. But I still think Divinity wins. I've played a lot of Divinity 2, so Original Sin 2, not Divinity 2. Anyway, on to spaceships.
Spaceships.
So I want to give a real big shout out to Alacron, because I'm holding in my hand about the coolest freaking thing I think I've ever seen in real life, aside from myself.
Mm.
And that is...
I love that description. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know.
Hey, that's what they call a healthy self. What is it? A healthy, positive self assessment or whatever.
Self-image, or I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it is.
So
that's what it is.
Alacron. So he told me he was going to send it to me, and I was not quite expecting it. He sent me a picture of it too, but I was not quite expecting it to turn out as good as it did. And if I had it set up, I would show y'all, but I don't have a camera. But I will be posting some pictures to the website later, which we'll talk about.
What website is that? Okay.
Yeah. This. So our website is fully up. It's loosescrewsed.com. Yeah, loosescrewsed.com. But like I said, I'll be posting pictures of it later. But anyway, he sent me a 3D printed Federal Corvette.
Righteous.
And, you know, he asked me, do you want me to paint it before I send it? And I was like, no, don't paint it. You don't have to worry about that. And I don't know if he painted it or not, but it looks so good. I can't believe the detail on it. You can see like the little thruster vents, I can see the fighter bay. I can see the doors in the fighter bay. I can see the Class 3 hardpoint on the bottom. I can see where the freaking landing gear deploy.
Nice.
I mean, if you could see through the canopy, I'm pretty sure it would 3D print me down there in the cockpit. It is just the coolest little thing. And I just, you know, number one, thank you to Alacron for sending me this. And number two, I want a 3D printer now because I want a whole fleet of these. And that way we can... Yeah, I want to be able to print out cutters too. That way, every time someone says "Ty, you fly a cutter," I can smash it up against the wall.
Wow, so rude.
I know. And the other thing he sent me, which is really cool, is that he sent me a Triple Elite 3D printed badge.
Mm-hmm.
And like number one, this is going to go up at work because
First off.
Go ahead.
First off, we have to make sure that we don't say it incorrectly. He did not send you a 3D printed Triple Elite badge. What he sent you was an official Triple Elite badge that was 3D printed. And the difference is that unlike mere mortals, you actually have Triple Elite. So anybody could put up a sticker or a decal or a 3D printed whatnot. But if you actually have the Triple Elite status, then it means something for real. It's like a Hutton mug. Anybody can have one, but if it's not a real one, well, that's a different story.
Speaking of Hut mugs, I've been seeing like on actual science websites that expedition, and people are holding that Hutton mug on every now and then that are down there in the Antarctic.
So Commander Dog's Breath is his name in game, obviously, but he isn't just a commander in this game. He literally is the expedition commander for that resupply mission that they are on right now. So he's the guy that sort of everybody reports to with all of the different logistics of, between the shipping group and then there's all kinds of different scientific equipment and all this stuff. He's the guy that signs off on everything. He is the guy that's in command. And so he has made it abundantly clear to all of their people in their meetings or whatever, that for all of the updates, whenever they have pictures and stuff or send back a video feed with an update of anything, he wants the Hutton mug to appear somewhere in the background, just the same way as like there's a Superman in every like scene or whatever in the background. It's somewhere in every episode of a Seinfeld, they have a little Superman statue. It was just a little inside joke. Well, he's doing the same thing with the Hutton mug, and God bless him.
Yeah, it is super cool that I'm seeing other websites and I'm like, oh, that's the Hutton.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and even the other, like a week ago, they got like a little stir crazy and they were bored because they had some bad weather and there was a time where they couldn't really do much, and then it snowed on the boat. And they went through and like with their feet, shuffled their feet. And instead of like making a little snow angel or this, that, and the other, they went and made like a 30 or 40 foot long Hutton mug. And then it's underneath it, it says, FTM or for the mug or whatever. I forget the exact on the picture, but they did it on the actual, like over the top of the ship. And it was great. But I sidetracked you. You were talking about what you're going to do with work with your badge. I want to make sure you get back to that.
Oh,
your Triple Elite.
So this is going to go up at work. I work for I work for a sheriff's office, so I work around a lot of cops. So I'm sure they're going to be like, well, "What the hell is this right here?" And I'm going to get picked on a lot about it, but I don't give a shit. So, and the vet, however, is going to have a special place next to my 12-inch Ragnaros statue. That is basically defunct, in my opinion, now, but. Anyway, yeah, I'm very excited about this. I was walking around the living room a while ago as like an 8-year-old boy flying my spaceship, just going.
Good for you, man.
And
that's legit.
Getting weird looks from the females. So Anyway, got a little bit of news we're going to go through real quick, and then we're going to talk about what we're going to talk about. So. Number one is Paige Harvey. Tomorrow is her official last day at FDev. And I think today is actually her official last day, but she's signed on to do the 24-hour live stream is how it's actually working. I think she went home to sleep, if I understand. So
yeah, anyway. she's going to be doing the 24-hour live stream that starts tomorrow and goes through Saturday. So then tomorrow at the end of the stream, when they all break and head out to go home and finally take a day or two of rest, then Paige is going to go home and take a day or two of rest and then start her new career.
Yeah. Oh, let me just say this real quick because I didn't actually say this. Alacron, thank you very much for sending me that.
Sure.
So, yeah, I don't think I actually said thank you, which makes me kind of a dick. So
no, you did say thank you. So that makes you that takes away your dickedness.
All right.
Yeah, Alacron, that is super awesome, man. Yeah, that's very cool of you.
All right. So the only other bit of news, because there's not a lot, was let me do this real quick. So I think starting Sunday is when I actually launched the website, loosescrewsed.com. It is up and running. And I think it was Wednesday this week is when we actually have a little t-shirt and mug store going on there. So if you really, really want to get a t-shirt and mug with the Loose Screws logo on it or some stupid things that I say regularly,
Oh, they got slogans and stuff? That's cool. So for the record, I'm just, along with all of you people out there, I'm finding out about this stuff as well. So I didn't know. I knew that they had the logo. I didn't know they had like slogans or catchphrays or anything.
Oh, no. I actually decided to sacrifice, give up a little bit of my pride. And I made a T-shirt that has a Loose Screws logo on it that says "real quick ... because apparently I say that a hell of a lot. So
I don't think that's just you. I think that's an American sort of idiom that comes up a lot. I think because I know I say it, and I think even in the little bumper that Trax does, he says like it's an American thing. We're always in a hurry. We're always whatever. So I don't think it's just you, but yeah, man.
There's also a Distant Screws mug on there. And for those that don't know what Distant Screws is, it is our expedition out to Colonia and Sagae. We're leaving March the 3rd, is it?
I believe it's leaving March 2nd and coming back April 28th. But that's off the top of my head, so don't trust it as gospel. And just real quick, here, I'm going to say real quick. There you go. Just to put this in there in a rapid manner. Hey, get it? I want to say that I think that this might come with the bumper that Trax had previously done, where he said like, "Hey guys, we're creating a thing, and some people are going to come, and if you want to come, you can sign up, and if we can get as many as 10 people together, it'll be an official thing." We're past that. The only reason why it's not showing up on EDSM right now as an official expedition with the full explanation and all the backstory and all that is because the guy who puts them up, like the guy who's officially in charge of saying, okay, this one is a go, he's on vacation. So he's gone all week. We had more than the 10 signatures as of, I think, last Friday or Saturday, and it was submitted, but the guy is away on vacation. When he gets back, it'll be full on official, but it is already over 10 members. Come sign up, go to EDSM and take a look if you're interested. There, I believe you can already use the sign up part of that. But it is not, there's not a question of will this be an official expedition? It is official. It's already done. It just isn't on the site until the guy gets a chance to pull the trigger on that. And at the very least, you can go to our Discord and you can pull up the information there. And, there's in the events channel, there is a link. You can click it to sign up for the expedition.
And I went ahead and pulled it up while you were talking. We got 28 responses of people wanting to go, and we got people from Xbox, PlayStation, and PC that are going. So,
yeah, it's going to be an awesome time.
Although it's kind of funny the way Trax did this survey as to what platform you're going on, because he said Windows, PlayStation, Xbox, and didn't include the Mac. So if you're, I guess the Mac people aren't invited. So,
I don't think that Mac is a separate platform for this, though. I think that all of the computer users, whether you use a Mac OS or an IBM, Windows OS, you're still in the same thing. So the Mac people would, instead of saying Windows, it should have said PC is all.
Right.
But he added that sort of as a afterthought, and so it's not.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I just want to give him a hard time about it, so. Yeah. But, if you, I think it's, I have been there before a couple times, and I know that, I think Trax has been out that way once before. But I might be wrong about that. I can't remember now, but it doesn't really matter because this is going to be fun. I've never done a great big expedition. I was going to do Distant Worlds 1 and 2, but I was busy searching for Raxxla while 2 was going on. So I think that's what I was doing. Shit, I don't remember now. It all kind of runs together in my head now. I'm getting old, man. Right. So check out the website. It's pretty cool. It has links to everything in there. if there's something missing or something you see that's wrong, please let me know. I will fix it. The other thing is we've kind of made the decision to look around for a couple of console squadron commanders. I'm looking for an Xbox squadron commander and a PlayStation squadron commander. And I've got some people interested on the Xbox side, and I think I got one person interested on the PlayStation side. And there's some other things that are kind of moving around right now. If you're interested, shoot me a message, and then at some point I'll have a conversation with you, and then we'll get together and make a decision. And then that person will be in charge of the console squadron. Now, keep in mind, we're not necessarily doing a player-made faction group or anything like that yet. It's something that we are still kicking around doing. But just kind of give you an idea real quick is because I went and looked before, but I had to go pull it back up. Right now, the Loose Screws podcast squadron is 13th in combat, 33rd in Xeno defense. I'm going to say Xeno defense. That sounds better.
It is Xeno.
Okay, good. 179th in exploration. And I'm personally proud of this one because this is what I'm doing the majority of the week is 4th in CQC. So the little squadron that could is kicking some booty. So everybody who's doing Xeno defense, everybody who's turning exploration data, because I'm not, everybody who's doing trade and combat, thank you. And I'll thank myself for CQC because while I know others have been doing some CQC, I have been spending a shit ton of time in CQC. So
yeah, man, you've been tearing it up for real.
Yeah, by the way, on that note, because we'll talk about, I never discuss what I've been doing first, but I'll discuss that real quick.
Go for it.
I have been doing CQC the majority of the week, and I am up to 49% semi-pro. And on Inara, I am ranked 378. So I'm stroking my own ego right now that I am ranked that high. And I give all my credit to the fact that I find a lot of players that leave themselves in CQC and go AFK, and I find them and shoot them. It's not the fact that I'm actually that skilled of a pilot. I just find a lot of AFKers. So,
well, so you're doing your part to help weed them out.
I'm doing my part. So
there you go. There you go. Right on. I have been killing some scouts, and they have not been AFK.
I was going to ask you how has the grind toward combat rank been going?
Well, I don't know if you heard, but I got a little sidetracked this week with some stuff, and I didn't spend as much time killing scouts as I probably should have. But when I look at my situation here, I am 54% of the way through dangerous, so that's something.
That's nice. Good job, buddy.
Little over halfway towards deadly. And then I got to get deadly knocked out. And right on.
Good deal. So I think that we're up to talking about the thing. So,
all right. Well, here let me just hop in and take over this conversation right here because I have to break some bad news here. I'm on. This is trending right now on Reddit, and this is really sad. The title is Disappointed in the Community. And I'm just going to read the whole post. I thought we were all adults, but I've been hearing rumors that some individuals have been bad-mouthing me to new players. I just want you to remember who was there for you when you logged into solo and did all those cargo runs with the Taco Bell $5 chalupa box or a plate of nachos on your lap. Simply unbelievable. Signed, the docking computer. I couldn't resist it, man. I had to throw it in there. You were set up. You were sitting at the end of your seat, like, where is he going with this? What
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So
That literally did come up like 5 minutes before the show started, and I clipped it to the side because I was like, "That's cute. I dig it. I'm gonna start with that." Yeah.
that's cool. So let's talk about the thing that took place this week on the forums.
Something happened on the forums?
Yeah. So
What?
Kai put together a wonderfully worded, very well phrased, excellent post about the state of Galnet and the state of storytelling in the game right now. He presented some working theories and working ideas about how to fix this, how to fix the issue, how to improve the issue, and he got a lot of responses to it actually. And then Monday, I believe it was, Paige and Steven said that we will get a response. And then we got a response. What was it? Tuesday, we got a response from FDev about it.
Yeah, Tuesday, Stephen Benedetti posted in the thread a response. Yeah.
And the response that he posted, to be very frank, was not quite what we were expecting. We were kind of promised a well thought out response, and we kind of ended up with a very PR friendly default answer, which irritated myself, the community massively. Actually did an article about it. Yeah, it's
all right.
Yeah, go
so
ahead.
I don't want things to get sidetracked here. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm looking at the clock. It's 9:24 p.m. This is gonna be. We're gonna wrap up this whole story in 5 minutes or less because I don't want to dwell on shit. I wrote up a thing on the forums. A lot of people were involved. It was listening back. If you listen to some of our recent drops, as far as the sort of the issue of the story and the narrative was brought up in the Sovereign interview that was released this week. It was brought up in the Wotherspoon interview that was released 2 weeks ago, or last week rather. It's been discussed to death by the whole community. Everyone has had their say on it. Everyone has said, hey, this is a thing. And so, 2 weeks ago, the story that wouldn't die was, the whole mining stuff and all of that and the mining nerf and whatever. And last week, and that was sort of a negative story. And last week, the story that wouldn't die was the whole Jerry Ferris thing. And that was a positive thing. And that was very, very cool. I'm glad that was the story that wouldn't die, because it's nice to have a story that just spreads like wildfire. That's a good thing. This week's was my letter. Just to clear up a couple points. I called it an open letter because it was, I wasn't a huge fan, let's say, of the last open letter, of the last petition, or however you want to call it. And I kind of wanted to take back the term a little bit, to be honest with you. And also, if I'm being 100% honest, it's good clickbait. If you put that on there, everyone's going to go like, oh, this is going to be a train wreck. And they're going to click on it. And they're going to read. And maybe you come looking for the gore and you end up reading something thoughtful that makes you kind of express your feelings on the matter. And a lot of people did. I got a couple hundred likes on the thing, and it's up to like 22, 23, whatever pages of commentary on it. I want to say thank you to all the people who read it and thought about it, just gave it a moment of thought, and then expressed themselves clearly and politely. All the people that disagree with me, and there was more than a couple, man. There was people that were like, I don't care about this. I want to focus on that. for those people that disagree with me, but took the time to read it and think about it honestly, I thank you, because that's all that I can ask. Everybody should have the right to put their input on it, and then and Frontier can decide as a whole what they feel the community, how they feel the community feels. Many people, the vast majority of the people, seem to be in favor of what I was writing, in part or in total, and so I appreciate that. Alec Turner was working it like ridiculously. He was out there stirring up people and keeping it up in forums and making sure people got involved, and I appreciate that. Down to Earth Astronomy mentioned it in his Hello Dave to start off the week. It was mentioned in Galnet News Digest. Witherspoon did a hilarious little send up of it, which was great, and I love you, Witherspoon. The guys at Lave Radio had me on to discuss it, and it was the discussion, sort of the main discussion piece of Lave Radio this week, and I was on there. Ty and Trax were not able to make it because of their work schedule or whatever. I literally was in the middle of my workday, but I pulled over on the side of the road and just did it from my phone. So the audio quality was meh, but I think the content was great, as is the content of every episode of Live Radio. Obsidian Ant mentioned it in his 3306 series, and that was cool. As well, Massively OP did an article on it. I don't know if I even already mentioned, because I'm lost in the week.
Drew Wagar.
Drew Wagar posted on that article and tweeted in support of it. Yeah, like you said, FDev commented on it, and here's the main thing. Here's the takeaway that I hope that this whole discussion that everyone's been talking about this week, the main takeaway that I want people to have from it is this: I wasn't saying turn on Galnet today. I wasn't saying give me this, give me that, here's my list of demands. I was simply saying here's how I feel about it. It kind of bums me out. I hope you keep that in mind. And the vast majority of the people that posted in those 24 pages of comments, and with all the likes and whatever, the vast majority, I feel, of what I read and comments that we were getting on Lave Radio on air, comments that we were getting in the OP, Massively OP section, comments from Obsidian Ant's video and Down to Earth's video, and just comments from the whole group in general, is that there's a lot of people that sort of agree with what I wrote and feel the same way. This is not a situation of like I am the Messiah coming with some secret knowledge. This is just, all I did was kind of say what we're all thinking, or many of us, let's say, are thinking. But I don't expect a big company to just immediately pivot on a dime because one space sim nerd writes a letter that's semi-coherent that says some things that are true. I hope that this gives them something to think about in the future, because now is the perfect time. People say, like, now's not the time to rock the boat. They can't do anything. No, now's the perfect time to give them something to think about, because they're 10 months out from releasing the December 2020, patch and all. And this is the time where they're starting to figure out how they're going to allocate resources, be it budgetary or time or hiring or job descriptions, or moving this person to that department and that person to this department. And had this gone by without anyone sort of getting this coalesced into a very clear expression of our feelings on the matter, there's a chance they might have said, well, hey, look, nobody really cares that much that, Galnet's gone. So let's just, keep those people on this other project, or we'll move them to Project Coaster, or we'll move them to Planet Jurassic Park or whatever, as opposed to, I hope, I have faith that they have heard us, that by and large we would like this addressed, and I hold out faith that they will make good on that at a point in the future when they can, whether that's 3 months from now or 6 months from now or in December. You know, a big company with a big staff and all of these things, like, you can't just say, okay, we're going to do this. You have to like go to payroll and get money approved, and you have to figure out hiring and who's going to be in what, and the legal's got to sign off on stuff, and you got different narrative teams and all, like, whatever. It's not just, okay, let's do it. It's deeper than that. So like, I wasn't expecting a success today. I was expecting for them to hear me, and I think they heard me, and I think they heard all of us. And so hopefully in the future things will be better with regard to that. But I don't want to also, I really don't want to dwell on it, because I love this game and there's so many awesome things about this game. It would be like if, you know, people that that love this game, but, you know, they were like, well, the PS4 couldn't get on CQC. You know, that was for a long time. They couldn't get on CQC. It was giving them problems. Well, right. Eventually it got fixed. So now, for right now, instead of dwelling on that one aspect that I don't like, there's 999 other aspects that I do like. So I'm going to dwell on those and just rock out from here. And I think that's pretty much all I needed to say on the whole subject.
Well, you know, and that was, you know, we talked a little bit about this episode before we got to it, and we made the decision internally to do, you know, to do this episode differently than what we ever did, because we wanted to. Number one, we wanted to celebrate our 25th episode. Number two, we wanted to talk about, you know, the good things in this game, because there's been a fair amount of negativity in this game for the last few weeks. Some of it's been coming from me. Some of it's been coming from other people in the community. And it's every now and then it's real easy to go down the negative path and get wrapped up in the stuff that's bad and forget about the stuff that's good. So the one last thing I want to say about it is, I had the thought today that there's a very good chance that FDev's response is basically sitting there going, guys, just wait. We have a really big, there's a very good chance Galnet may not be back. But what if they have a plan for Galnet 2.0? And it's going to be more narrative-driven, involved things. I don't know what they could do, but off the top of my head. But what if there's something like that they kind of have planned, and they just can't talk about it? And you know, if it's a situation where they have something better than Galnet planned, man, they don't have to bring Galnet back. I'm cool with that. You know. So, but
and, yeah, you know, I mean. I hope they bring.
It's hope.
For the record, I hope they bring Galnet back. But I don't know. You know, if you're saying like, hey, there's going to be. I mean, hell, the second Elite game had 5 in-game newspapers that you could read from. So, like, if they were going to do something where it's like, yeah, the old Galnet is done, but there's this new thing that has 5 different newspapers, and one of them is Galnet, and you know, one of them is the Imperial Daily, and one of them is the Federation Daily, and all kinds of the Alliance Weekly or whatever. Okay, like, yeah, all right. But like, just to be clear, I definitely do want them to bring Galnet back. And riding on the coattails of what you're saying of focus on the good things, how about we focus on the good thing that now that we're past this whole Galnet story, we've said what we need to say, they've heard it, now let's let them whatever. Let's focus on the good thing and bring in Jay Trax to say what up.
Steal all my thunder, man. Just steal all my thunder.
Stole it.
Somebody just knocked on my door. What's happening in here? I saw my name in the sky and I turned on my microphone.
Mm-hmm.
I've got more of these. Do you want me to keep going?
It's the track signal. yeah, for sure, man. For sure. We just literally I have this spotlight and it puts a big microphone in the sky.
I saw it. Yeah. It's a good thing it was cloudy. I always wondered how the bat signal would work if it ever wasn't cloudy.
They would just show it on the moon and they'd be like, oh my God, there's a bat on the moon.
He can shoot. Well, what if it's a new moon?
Oh my God.
I don't know, man.
Evil prevails.
Fight crime another day, bro.
That's Batman's night off.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God. I'm done with you.
You guys wanted a left turn in the podcast right here, right? That's what I thought my job was.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. And you did it well. So, go ahead.
I was going to bring in tracks and I was going to do story time quick. And then I figured we'd talk about the, everything. So.
Sounds great.
Yeah, do it.
So story time this week took us out to Alameda Landing, which is in Con A3A.
Mm-hmm.
And before I begin, there's a small chance that we may have to have an intervention with Dubs.
Yeah, hey, I know nothing about whatever you're about to say. I'm hearing for the first time, and I'm not in favor of it. I do not condone it. I'm over here like, nope, nope.
Well, so the folks that went out for story time this week, Great White Buffalo got the first. Lustville Ewok, Alacron, Trax, Wiley, Kaizen. I went out there, but I forgot to take screenshots like an idiot.
Wow.
Well, we don't believe you then.
I know.
Picture didn't happen, bro.
I know. The screenshotter didn't happen. I know. And Lieutenant Commander Data and Dubs. And let me start off by saying that Dubs won. And if you want to know how Dubs won,
he did not win.
Well, hold on. Dubs won, but we all lost.
We all lost a little something today.
I do not condone this message. Nope.
Anyway, so Dubs went out there and he took his Anaconda out. He loaded up with slaves.
Hey, how about you know what? We're breaking in with an edit. So here, let me hold on. Wait a second. I'm going to do this in community management team speak, and we're going to clear this up here. Dubs, in an effort to repopulate the base.
I was about to say that, man. Damn.
Okay. Brought several passengers to the location and freed them to begin a new life as free citizens.
Outside of canisters. There's not a good way to spin this, man.
Okay, I'm out. I'm no longer a part of this section of the segment. I have no knowledge of any of this. So.
Yeah. Anyway, so Dubs won. We all lost. And but the story of Alameda really goes to Effie Rattling. And so Alameda Landing is an INRA base, and INRA was the Intergalactic Naval Reserve Arm.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, that's the cooperative between the Federation and the Empire that operated during the last war to Thargoids. This facility was set up to reverse engineer Thargoid jump drive technology, or frameshift drive technology. Jump drive, my brain went over to Battlestar Galactica for a second there. Sorry. It's kind of a burnout place, but I just dropped my phone.
No, it's hopping now. They've got mall outlets. They've got Chuck E. Cheese. Everything.
Hard workers, those new residents.
Yeah.
Shit. Anyway, Effie Rattling was pretty much the one that led the research to reverse engineer the Thargoid technology. and she created a prototype hybrid hyperdrive. That's really hard to say. She figured out how the Thargoid drives worked and actually created several stable wormholes. But she also said humans can't survive the passage through. And if you go there, there's some logs that kind of go into the whole thing. But she basically said that the people who go there will end up, people who get sent into hyperspace will get turned inside out. And INRA didn't listen to her, basically fired her. And when they did all that, they then did a test, and the test pilot died, and the ship was all right, but the pilot was basically inside out. And then they INRA turned around and blamed Rattling for the whole incident, canceled the project. And I think there's 6 beacons there, 5 or 6.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, and it kind of tells the story of Effie's. And but yeah, that's the story of Alameda Landing. This week is a little bit happier story. We're going to Leland 2966, and I just forgot the stinking phone. I dropped my phone and tabbed around.
Oh no.
Okay, Leland 2966, 4th planet.
Oh no! I just put together in my head what Dubs is going to do with this one.
Oh, do you know this one?
Yeah, I'm almost positive that I do. Yeah.
Well, so that's story time this week.
The story time is going to be great. We're just going to say Dubs did it, and we're not going to comment anymore than that.
We're gonna have to redo this whole thing if Dubs keep going on.
so just to, yeah, you didn't even see the other picture, I guess, because you didn't mention it. You didn't notice afterwards. He found that he still had some in his hold.
Oh no, I did.
Okay,
I saw that.
He set them free as well.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm not mentioning that one.
All right. So yeah. So with this week's story time, this last week's story time, super interesting story. I dig, like, again, the fact all of the narrative in this and lore in this game that is just out there in little bits and pieces. It's super interesting. The story of INRA. It's massively interesting. The story of, human beings did not have frameshift drives through all of history, and then there's the story of a century ago, or within the last century, an INRA base where they were working on secret experiments to try to figure out how the Thargoids jump drives work. And then all of a sudden, randomly, we have these new FSD drives that are awesome, that no one could figure out where the technology came from. It just appeared magically. It's a very interesting story, and it leads you to put the pieces together and come up with some obvious inferences as to the history of the universe, the history of our species travel into space. In this game, it's very clear that there's a military-industrial complex that is pulling strings, that is telling us half-truths, and that there's more to just about every story than what you're being told. And I really dig that, because especially after a conversation in the last week with Drew Wagar about his meetings with David Braben, talking about sort of the setting up the premises that he put into the book Premonition. And David Braben specifically invented the club and named them I love the idea of the club. I hate the name. But in that, David Braben made it very, very clear to Drew Wagar that the narrative that he wanted covered in the book was largely about this military-industrial complex that was lying to everyone and using them, and I don't know. So stuff like this are super, super interesting to me, because it's like, yeah, that's where, like, you know, this is where our frame shift drives come from. And also, I know that it's super unpopular. Everybody wants to think of INRA as the bad guys. I don't. If I was around at the time of the Galcop and INRA or whatever, I would have gladly been a part of INRA. Now, I get it that they did some dick moves with regard to especially a certain beloved, universally beloved pilot. But here's the thing. Any group big enough, you're going to have some assholes in the bunch. And the fact of the matter is in the end, when you look at what they did, aside from what they did with that one pilot, in general, what they did was anything they had to survive. So if you look at and make judgments against, for example, you know, in our real history, you know, our grandfathers pretty much, you know, all fought in World War II, whether you're a British citizen or an American citizen or what have you. And that was a real sort of dirty, bloody, you know, vicious mess. And it was a fight. We were scrapping. We were fighting for survival. And the fact of the matter is there's a lot of things that happened in that where you don't want to kind of look too close, because war is violent and horrific and just horrible. And there's a lot of things that were done in that are, you know, not proud moments for anyone. But you do what you have to win, to survive. And I look at INRA that way. I look at them through that prism of like, I'm on team people. So regardless of whatever, you know, I'm a huge INRA fan. But and I know that that sounds kind of weird to say, but I look at it from the standpoint of they made the hard calls so that we could survive to today, so that we could judge them. But
real history is rarely less complicated than that.
Man.
It attaches to our real world in a way. Like, it attaches the game universe to us in the way that, like, we are the product of our society. And this is our real history, is very much like this.
And I mean, that's the beauty of the narrative in this game. This game does not have the good guys and the baddies and like, oh, well, if you're on this side, everything. No, this game is set up to where it's like, there's, you know, 8 sides and all of them have a claim to say they're the good guys, and all of them could be portrayed as the bad guys, because that's the way real life works. There's no guy in a white hat and guy in a black hat, and the guy in a black hat, you know, twirls his mustache and is trying to like murder kittens just for fun, or like push little old ladies down the steps. Like, that's not how life works, man. Everybody thinks they're the good guy. And
and some of us discover we have skulls on our uniforms.
Oh, yeah, that you like that post, huh? I thought you would dig that. I put it, you know, Hans, I feed the baddies.
I remember that from back in the day. Yeah,
yeah, man. Yeah. Well, I posted that in the off topic thing just because it was like, it seemed apropos. But you know, but I mean, like, just that the little things like those INRA bases, man. Like, I'm so glad that you picked that one to send everybody to last week, because it shows the beauty and the nuance of the storytelling in this game, man. And you know, I will forever love that.
Yeah, I've always been a big fan of the INRA stuff. The whole story with the Thargoids and the Guardians and all that is very, very fascinating. And I'm of the mind now. Don't misunderstand me. I think Thargoids are kind of dicks, but I'm of the mindset that we were the original aggressors. I think that when we started crossing into witch space, which I believe is I think that is the natural Thargoid home. I think that we did some harm there that we don't understand. And
or maybe that somebody did understand and they just didn't tell us.
And it very well might be the case. And just one of those things where until FDev tells the story, we just won't know.
Yeah.
But
regardless of what the story is, here's where we're at now, and I'm on Team People. So whether or not, you know, it could have gone differently before, if it comes down to it, and you kick in my door and you're coming in with a hammer, I'm reaching for a gun, and I don't care why you're coming, and I'm going to stop you. So that's why right now, as we're talking, I'm killing scouts.
Yeah.
Because hashtag Team People.
I shot some a couple of days ago.
And don't get me wrong, I mean, I've killed like 4,000 scouts to hit elite, so I am not trying to say that I'm a good guy by any stretch of the means or a Xeno lover, but I do kind of think that we are the
I
bad
have
guys.
never shot a scout before it shot at me. Just saying.
I
mean, if I'm an individual as a representative of the human race, if I'm an individual and responsible for my own actions, and my actions are not the responsibility of my species, then we should assume that the Thargoids are the same, right? Maybe. Okay. Well, they have all shot at me first, except I suppose the interceptors. Almost universally, the interceptors have been fired on by me first.
So that is an interesting story, and that is very responsible and respectable of you. Everyone out there listening, just remember, Kai shot first.
Speaking of Kai shooting first, something we kind of glossed over, we didn't really go into, was Kai is an official member of Sagittarius I now.
Wait, how does that translate from, speaking of Kai? Is there a rash?
Someone said Kai.
Don't try to rationalize Ty Worsham's brain the way it follows. So
I am super nervous now because I'm like, am I going to go to the Sagittarius I offices and just have to duck because there's going to be random acts of gun violence just here and there and everywhere? Like, yeah. So just for the record, because you have to say this because they're very, very official.
Right.
I do not represent Sagittarius I. I would never, ever claim to represent Sagittarius I. That is not a thing that I would ever do. If you want to, if you want a representative of Sagittarius I, you definitely contact them and they will provide one, probably through Souverine, the managing editor, or one of the other editors, or somebody that's appropriate and official and important. I am on the staff as far as I have recorded already a couple of pieces, and I am one of their, I guess I'm listed as, a voice actor, or however you want to call it. So I am a guy who will get assigned stories, and then I will be in Sagittarius I as an imperial, admiral, or as a, street vendor who's complaining about these damn Thargoids, or as a whatever.
Imperial, you're off the show, buddy. You're off the show.
Okay, so let me explain to you how acting works. I don't get to pick what I am. One day I could be a guy. One day I could be Edward Mahan, and the next day I am the guy that sweeps up poop behind the elephants. Whatever the script says, that's the guy I am. I'm not. Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, it's a very cool thing, and yes, I was a huge proponent in telling everybody to check out SAG-I and check out Parallel Worlds even before I had recorded anything for either one of them, and I will continue to do so now because I strongly believe that they're two amazing pieces of entertainment.
Yeah,
right on.
So couple of things, and I'm not still tracks just under here, but a couple of things I do want to mention. Chig got his triple elite. Big congratulations to you, sir.
Massive salute.
To my knowledge, I think he's the second person in the squad,
in the whole galaxy. Oh,
in the squadron that is triple elite. Me being first. Me being first. First.
I think there.
I don't
think
know of
skeptical.
another one. So if
Not
there
off
is
the top of my head.
if there is another one, let us know. So
I can't name them, but I feel like I've seen it. I've seen that picture pop up before in Discord. But there is so much going on in our Discord.
I know. Gee, we have like 186 people in there now.
Wait,
And
how do you get into our Discord? What's the link for that?
Well, the easiest way to find it is Loose Screws ED contact page, and our link to our Discord. Our Discord is right there.
That's
Ty,
loosescrewsed.com.
Oh
Yeah,
my
you
God,
gotta-
I can't talk.
No. I'm just saying you have to do it again there, Ty, because literally
Yeah.
your mic cut out right in the middle of it. So you said
No,
that's
I
loose.
started coughing. Is what the deal was.
Fair enough.
I was choking my own spit. It's loosescrewsed.com, and then go over to the contact page, and there's a link right there for our Discord server.
Excellent.
That's
Right on, man.
yeah. See, websites that actually help things for me to have to remember all the things now. So that's what I should have done to begin with.
Beautiful.
Commander McPherson made admiral, federal admiral.
Congrats,
and-
bro.
Is there another kind of admiral?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. The Alliance admirals.
Mhm.
Duh.
Idiot.
Mhm.
Lustful Ewok hit his second elite in the exploration.
Congrats,
Needless
brother.
Hate, which I think Needless Hate is in our Twitch chat tonight.
Mhm.
Got his second elite today. Congratulations. I'm
Congrats,
assuming,
brother.
I'm assuming Needless Hate and NL Hate are the same person, but yeah, he says he is. Okay, good.
Yeah.
But congrats, man, on your second elite. Was it in trade or exploration or combat? He'll tell us in a second.
Twitch has big.
Well,
Trade
we're-
elite.
Trade elite, yeah. While
Yeah.
we're waiting on that, we also should highlight. Oh wait, actually, I think you're about to call it out, so I'm going to stop and let you do it. Go ahead.
Yeah, Lieutenant Zephyr. Lieutenant Zephyr, world's greatest shave charity for Leukemia Foundation. Doing and I got to get to the link now, doing a fundraising for Emmanuel Waltis is shaving on March the 12th to help beat blood cancer. So he's,
Wow, man.
Yeah.
we will post this in the show notes is what we'll do. And we'll probably put it up on our webpage. But it's really cool that he's doing this. He has a pretty good little head of hair there. If I had hair like him, I'm bald as shit, y'all. So like there was actually, so I actually used to have shoulder length, little history of Ty here. I used to have
Let's do
shoulder
this.
length. And
I'm
like
picturing Fabio.
it was not that pretty. It was more like losero. But anyway, I got a lot of female compliments about the length of my hair, and it was attractive, or I thought it was. Anyway, so I feel like I'm stealing thunder away from Lieutenant Zephyr here, and I'm kind of an asshole. But anyway, I'll finish what I was saying. I realized at some point that the front part of my hair was retreating, and there was a point there where I started looking like an old man with a bald spot. So good old fashioned bird's nest was going on there. So then I just shaved it. I've been keeping it shaved ever since, and I get more comments from the females that they like the bald hair. So who knows?
There you go.
Who knows?
There you go. So also, what the thing I was going to mention that I wasn't that one. I knew you had that one. I was going to mention congratulations to Gustafa for hitting his trade elite.
Yeah.
That's his first elite, which means he just unlocked Shinrarta Desra. He's a newer to it player, and he's coming up fast and he's making time. And also a huge shout out to Commander Dubs. Dubs has been a godsend to the whole squadron. He has been like, literally yesterday, he asked Gustafa what he was doing. Gustafa's like, well, I got to do this mining thing and finish it up. I want to hit elite. He just dropped what he was doing, went out there and helped Gustafa to hit his mining goal. He has been working with people. He's been literally just coming on saying, "Hey, what are you guys doing today?" Oh, I think I'm. Yeah. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. He's been coming on, logging on, and seeing. I was going to say, I think Dubs is triple elite, but he doesn't have combat yet.
No,
but that's because he refuses to farm the scouts. He goes and only kills the big ones. He's like, nah, I'm not doing it that way. And so, like, much respect to him because he is combat elite in my eyes. But he, like, you know, whatever. But he's just been dropping what he's doing and going to like help people with like, oh, you need with this, all right, let's go do it. Oh, you want this, all right, let's go do it. Oh, you need help with this exploration build. There's like 5 or 6 different people that have literally, he stopped what he's doing and worked on an exploration build for this type of ship or that type of ship for them, and you know, sent them links with his. I love his links because he doesn't use tiny URLs, so they take up half the page. But like they're, you know, it's like it's super, super awesome. And so as far as I'm concerned, Dubs, you are an awesome person, and I have not heard any rumors of what you do with Imperial citizens that are down on their luck. So you are an awesome dude.
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. Dubs is probably, with the possible exception of Trax, the best combat pilot I have flown with and against.
Whoa. So. Don't out me like that. I don't want anything. First of all, I don't believe you. Secondly, I don't want anything to live up to. That is not how that is why I don't farm the scouts. I don't want anybody thinking I'm better than I am.
Well, both of you guys are really good. So anyway.
Fair enough. I'd like it to remain a surprise.
But we did kind of gloss over Lieutenant Zephyr. I didn't really mean to do that because I started talking about my long. But yeah, he's raising money for that. It's really cool he's doing that. Leukemia Foundation. So
yeah, man.
Check the show notes for the link.
So you can go in there and sponsor him, and he's got a picture of his beautiful hair to shave. So anyway, I think that's all I got before we get into the big topic here. Do you guys have anything else before we get into the big topic?
Well, let's run down new to Discord, or did you guys do that before I got here?
I have not done that yet. I was going to let you do that, sir.
Cool. So new to Discord this week. I hope my list is complete. We did a little bit of transitioning it over, but by my count, I think we're up to 184 total members. Is that right, guys? Or did I miss any?
I can go check right now. Stand by.
Maybe I did.
Go.
New in this week, Luke Aaron 038, Strokes 1510, Jacob Obegley. Is that how I would say that? I think so.
I'll go with that.
Zartonis, Doc Maverick 82, Tangent, Flying Gator. Oh, I had been reading that wrong, and I think I just read it right for the first time. Flying Gator, nice. Splooey.
Hold on. What were you reading?
No, like I kept pronouncing it like not like Gator. I don't even remember what I was saying the first time I read his name, but I can't remember it now because now what I'm sure is the right way is in my head. Anyway, Needless Hate showed up this week. Light Skin. We have Albo, Cinnamon, Levi, who's been in chat quite a bit the past few days when I've been playing. Fun guy. Azir? Is that how I'd say that? Mm-hmm. Azir? I'm going Azir. FEE, Radio Sidewinder. Phantom Knight 321. Sensi Jimbo. Neo Dreadlord. Jeff's third nipple. I was anyway,
I'm so glad that you get to read this now.
That's fun. Yeah. Matthew Lee Willis, Rotor Geek, Dirty Damien. It was Damien. He changed it to Dirty Damien, so I updated. I'm sure that's what he wants to be called. Wolf 6, and then this morning Rosetta Stone. And I just checked a few minutes ago. I didn't see anything new, so I hope I didn't miss anybody. I'll check again real quick. But anyway, yeah. Welcome to Discord, everyone. Join the fun.
Now you get to listen to me. So I think that's about it before we get into the big topic. So the big topic that I want to talk about this week is like I said, we've had some negativity this week in regards to Elite. So I want to talk about the things that we love about Elite. So let me start. I spent a little bit of time in Star Citizen this week, and that it crashed when I went down the elevator, and I got pissed off and exited out again. And I think it was Commander Digger James actually mentioned to me, I clicked the wrong button and left the voice channel for a second there. I think it was Commander Digger James said, "Hey, come over to the Australian server and we'll help you get started." And I was like, "All right, I need to figure out how to do that." But I had forgotten he said that, but it crashed on me this time. But then I went back to CQC, and the thing that really got me this week was, I've had a fairly stressful week personally and with work stuff, and it's really nice to just come home and just shoot people in CQC. Arguably, some of those people were AFK, so I'm getting some free kills. But, if you're AFK, you're free game. So,
still in the match.
It's easy to forget a lot of times the things that we love about this game, and
killing AFK people.
Hey, it's just a step above dropping Imperial slaves in an abandoned settlement. I'm just saying.
I'm going to go ahead and say it's at least 2 steps above.
So, man, if you think about it like this, we're having a lot of fun sitting around talking about a game. Dubs created his own fun this week. And I think that's what I love about this game. And it's also kind of the thing that irritates me a little bit is that it's nice to create your own fun. And, I'll just tell you, before I started this podcast, I was kind of on the out of Elite. Like, I was just kind of like going to play it passively, wait until we got some fleet carrier, wait until we got something new to do. But now I'm having a lot of fun actually doing things I've already done, hanging out with people who necessarily haven't done it. I spent, of course, I spent some time with Levi, winging up with him, shooting people with him, and I have no reason to shoot these people. To shoot NP, oh God, to shoot NP, to go bounty hunting. That's not.
Yeah. Hazres, everybody, back down.
Yeah. I have no reason to be in a Hazres shooting people because I'm already combat elite and I have I got money, but I was having fun doing it with him. He had never really done combat before. He had done a little bit of it, of course, but he hadn't really done it, and he was having fun, or at least he told me he was. So
he sure sounded like he was.
Yeah, and, No Man's Sky released this thing with eggs, or this patch this week where you can get this egg and you can grow a spaceship out of it. And when I first saw the video, I was like, "Oh, this is like the coolest thing ever." And I'm a No Man's Sky owner, but I'm not real fond of the flight model. And so I actually logged into No Man's Sky, and I thought, well, I'll try this out for a minute, see if I can get me an egg. And after 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes of being inside this game, I thought, oh yeah, this is why I hate this game, because it's an arcade game and it feels like crap. It's got a lot of features, a lot of things. The flight model is awful. It doesn't feel like you're flying. It feels like you're playing an arcade. It feels like you're playing Star Fox, which I like Star Fox, but it's
Star Fox is awesome.
Yeah, I like Star Fox, but it's not what I want out of my space game, Yeah. So, what are some things that you guys are doing that you're just really enjoying? Not because we've always talked about like there's parts of Elite where you work and parts of Elite where you're playing. So what are things that you're enjoying?
So this week I gotta say, I've been sort of everywhere. It's been a crazy week, man. I just didn't do. I was like, I don't want to do Elite Week this week. It's a lot of notes to get together and this, that, and the other. And I've been all over the place and bopping around. And the one thing that I love the most about Elite right now this week, like, you know, 1-to-1 recreation of the galaxy, check. You know, the flight model, check. You know, all of the abilities to do different things and the lore, and there's all these different things. But for this week, the thing that I'm focusing on the most, that I've had a lot of great interactions with, is the extended community. Is just great. And I've just really been focusing on that this week. I do want to throw out one or two shout outs real quick. The first shout out I want to give is to Commander Burr for the Burr Pit. He was celebrating a huge milestone. He had what is it? It's like his. Hold on, real quick. I just want to pull this up because I don't want to say the wrong thing, and my brain is fried. So I want to say the right number. It's right here, and it's here under announcements. And then it goes missing, and I'm like an idiot here. Sorry about that.
We'll just throw it out, man. If it's wrong, it's wrong.
Yeah, Commander Burr just got a huge milestone this week on his followers on YouTube, and so that was, you know, that was sort of amazing, and I just wanted to call that out. And the other thing, yes, there's the number. Okay, I just didn't want to get it wrong. Commander Burr, congratulations on 5,000 subs, which is huge considering, like, he's newer to the whole thing, and he's just lighting it up. I mean, his community is continuing to grow leaps and bounds in an amazing way. So I just wanted to call that out. And the other thing I wanted to call out, and this is a little thing, but everyone go check out, and we'll put a link in the show notes. We'll put a link in the thing, because this is not an easy one to find. It's tewantales.blogspot.com. So TEWANTATALES. So there's a place called Tewanta in game, Wilsonport in the Tewanta system. There's this guy who's doing this in-universe sort of blog of his adventures as a commander in Tewanta. It's just like, pick a place in this game, and this is this guy's life. You know, Commander Austin Graves. You know, it's a whole thing, and it's a neat little thing of, like, imagine for a second putting yourself in a position of, like, you're going to the mission board and you're getting your mission, but in this case, like, it's actually all acted out, and he's looking through and he's like, okay, I'm going to take this mission. Here's background information on it and blah, blah, blah. And this is a slice of life. This is a place in the universe that called Tewanta that honestly, I didn't really know of any reason to care about it before I started reading this story. But now I can't wait to see what happens next week in Tewanta. So I'm a fan of it, and I think you guys should check it out. It's tewantatales.blogspot.com. So TEWANTATALES.blogspot.com. No spaces, no anything. And then from there, you can hop on board the story and check out what's going on. It's a neat little thing. And then lastly, and go check this out on YouTube and go check this out on his site. You can find it easily. Commander Jerry Ferris, his computer was fully built, and Exigeous put up like the specs on all the stuff and all that neat stuff. And so go check out that. And if you're one of the people that helped to contribute towards it, then go take a look at that picture and smile and feel good for a minute, because there's a lot of things in this life that'll get you bummed out or get you whatever, but it's nice when you can have a little smile. So definitely go check that out. And those are my little things for the week. We're retooling Elite Week. The show's getting a little long. We're going to decide how to make that best go, whether that's however we're going to do it or whatever. But for this week, I just wanted to take Elite Week off, and we'll get back to it at some point and, give you your feedback if if you're like, yeah, it's too long, or nah, it's good, or whatever. And we'll look into that. Trax, what about you, man?
Well, so, what do I love about this? I was probably going to say something similar to you about the community and stuff like that. Honestly, what I've been doing lately in game has been a little bit of whatever. Like I got pretty prepared for the Distant Screws expedition, basically all set. I still kind of feel like if I'm in game and I ought to be maybe topping off some of my materials, I guess, but I really have plenty of everything. So I'm kind of just doing whatever. Like if I hear people playing CQC, I'll jump in there. It's just great to be in this living universe, and I don't think it, there's stuff you can do by yourself. There's always a thing going on in a nearby system that you don't know about until you get there or until you actually start trying to seek it out. So there's sometimes, you can be like, well, geez, I have nothing to do in this game. But really, switch your gal map to system states and just look around for something that's a different color than everything else. And, oh, what's that? Like something's happening there, and there might be different kinds of missions or whatever. So I bounce around. Usually there's some people on and it's kind of like, what are you guys doing? Oh, shoot, sure, I'll do that. Let me grab this other ship and join you. And that's been really great fun. And it's hard to imagine a life where I don't have this game to play. I'm a pretty single game kind of person anyway. I always kind of stick with something until I'm done with it. This game has no end, as far as I can tell. There's no thing where you've like won the game. It doesn't have a replayability factor. You're just always replaying it.
Right.
But there are things that I still haven't done, and one of them is an expedition like this. So I've just been wildly amazed and sort of overwhelmed by what this has turned into. I loaded this up. At this point, there's 28 people signed up to go, and I didn't think anybody was going to come with me. So let's talk about that for a hot minute. Still only one PlayStation player signed up to go. So PlayStation players, let's do it. Let's not leave the sole PlayStation player the only one out there. Let's add a few more. I see just a wild spread of different ships. Anything that's really out there. Well, there's this one Federal Corvette. I wonder what dope is to fly that out there. Somebody's going to bring an Imperial Courier. I think that's cool. You could definitely make a good exploration build for that ship as far as small ships go. A bunch of difference in different ranks. Some people, well, I guess I don't think anybody's aimless signed up, but still there's some big variation. 64.3% of people have never been to Colonia or Sagae, just like me. So that's pretty cool. And there's also something in here where I said you could just write me comments, and people are telling me some things about kind of what they're bringing. It looks like we're going to have a really good spread of people that can help each other. Another good reason that I want to have more than just one person on PlayStation, because if something does happen and you need to get a repair or whatever, it would be so cool to have people, co-pilots on the expedition, be able to work with that instead of doing our own hull sealing and stuff, or fuel routing if we needed to or something. So we'll see. Especially, so I got a long note from Commander Crash Harper, where he talks about being new to the community and being really excited to join this to meet new friends. Like I was just kind of like reading that before I sat down here today and thinking, like, that's the thing I always think about. What do I love about this game is like all these friends that I have in here now. I loved this game before, but now it's a totally different thing. So being able to sort of spread that around, like, so for me, it's sort of like creating this expedition. I feel like now everybody's like asking me, so when we do this, like, should I bring this or this? And, I'm sitting here going, well, I've never gone before, but sure, I'll tell you the answer to that question. Let's do it together. It feels really great. I think it's gonna be spectacular. I hope a lot of people watch, but even if a lot of people don't watch, apparently a lot of people are going to be out there seeing things for themselves too. I think we're going to get a lot of great pictures. Yeah, man. I was going to also mention, because I think Kai, you brought this up to me, or both of you did or something, but if anyone wants to take this extra step, this was news to me, but apparently people who are pledged to Li Yongri in Power Play can, if you're level, you have to be level 5 or rank 5 or however they call it. Rating 5? Rating. I think it's rating. You get, for exploration data turned in to controlled stations, you get a 200% bonus. So I guess that means you would make, if you had 100 million in exploration data, you would make 300 million from it instead. So that's pretty huge. I think rating 5 is a lot of work, but I'm strongly considering it. I basically, at this point, I'm gonna pledge before I leave. And if I really don't feel like the 200% bonus is worth it to me when I get back, then I can just unpledge or whatever. But I'll at least have the option. So I wanted to share that around in case anybody else wanted to do it. We will be out there well long enough, so you're not going to be waiting in order to get your rank 5 or anything like that. But
yeah, I mean, realistically speaking, you could probably, if you do, I mean, we're going to go out for 2 full months. If you really put in, go out there and hit it hard and get to scanning and whatnot, you could expect to come back with a bill or two easily in cartographic data. So let's say you stretch yourself a little and you get even to say 4 billion in cartographic data, then getting that 200% bonus, which means you'll get a total of 300%, as you just illustrated, of the amount, means that 4 billion turns into 12 billion. So definitely,
that's 12 times as much as I have ever had.
So I mean, definitely worth the effort. So join up to Leon Ryu and go get, spend an hour, hauling around his crap and get all of that money.
I think it'll take more than an hour to do 10,000 merits, but actually, now that I'm thinking about it,
not that much more.
Do you have to wait to do? Because the waiting is just for the Power Play modules.
That's 100% correct. You don't have to wait at all. You can go.
So you can pledge when we get
click.
Back.
You could. Well, you absolutely could do that, but so what I had suggested was, if you don't have the pack hounds yet, pledge right before you leave and get the pack hounds as well. Use this as the perfect opportunity, 2 birds, 1 stone. But if you do already have the pack hounds, like myself, and you're planning on doing somebody else, I will be out there representing Felicia Winters. I will do the whole thing representing Felicia Winters. I will come in. I will do enough of my merits so that I can get to rank 4, because I will already have 4 weeks with her. So I will get to rank 4 and immediately
Rank 3.
Rank 3 rather, and I will immediately buy the modules, and then I will go and repledge to Leon Ryu again, and I will go get the 5,000. And after that, I'm going to fly around his entire area, because I already have all the permits unlocked that you can unlock in the game. I made that a project and I unlocked all of them. But I will fly around just at random to Sirius Corp areas and things that he controls. And I'm just going to do 8 mil at a pop and then just keep just maxing out a whole bunch of stations, so that in the future, if I want to run missions at places or whatever, I just have a huge sort of swath of the bubble that I can go to, and I can know that I'm already maxed out there.
Right on.
Well, the other thing, I'm over here in a Hazraz fighting, and it's funny, I ran into a Locutus of Borg over here who has whooped my ass multiple times in CQC. And he's never AFK. And apparently I accidentally shot him because he's in a, and I don't know why the hell I thought that he was not a person, but apparently I shot him, and I feel like an asshole now. Yeah, I know. I'm that guy. So should he happen to be listening, I really did not mean to shoot you. I was actually trying to shoot the adder, and I'm using I shot it with my damn non-gimbaled weapon. So that's how that went down. So and someone's messaging him right now saying, Ty's talking shit about you. Go fuck him up.
Wow.
Actually, yeah. So I'll tell you something else too. Like, I'm over here doing this right now, and I Mustafa over here, he had like 20,000 lipids deployed gathering a bunch of stuff. I flew right in front of him and shot him my lights at him, and apparently he was AFK. But that's something that like I missed out on when I was playing this game to start off with, was the random run-intos of people that you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
did you used to play solo?
Either solo or private group. I rarely was in public or open. I mean, I did, and I'm still a member of Mobius, of course. But even in there, you don't run into people like you do in.
Yeah, it's just not populated enough.
Yeah, it's just not. I mean, you go over to Shinrarta or something, and there's like 3 people there, maybe, if it's a good day kind of deal,
Mm-hmm.
Well, I came out of Shindes about an hour ago, and let me tell you something. There were like 15 hollow squares out there with me, and I was like, later, fellas.
Yeah. Well, that's a little bit different though. That's in full blown open, so it's a different bird. It's a different ball of wax. And
yeah, man, I live in open.
Yeah, well, I mean, I do now, because it is honestly the more fun way to play, which I did not expect. So anyway,
yeah. In fact, when we return from this expedition, I wonder if how much coordination we can do to kind of add some muscle, just in case it's public enough that somebody turns up looking for trouble where we're landing.
Yeah, I've thought about trying to figure out ways to fix that, and I've already decided I'm just going to come back in solo. I'm not going to risk it.
Yeah, that's so look, I live in open. I am the hugest proponent of stay in open. When you're coming back from a 2-month-long expedition, that is the time to go into solo.
Yeah.
And especially, look, go into solo, get yourself into a good ship that's combat ready, and then go back into open. But as far as, and I understand that we're traveling with the stay strapped or get clapped crew, but still we're in exploration ships. That's not fully, when I get back in my little ASP exploder, I will definitely about, from an undetermined time, whether it's 8 or 15 jumps from outside of the bubble, I'm going to switch to solo, race in, get out of that asp exploder and get back into my vet or get into a cutter or get into, even my python, and then be like, all right, I'm ready. Now I'll go back into open.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, and the other thing I was going to say was, I was really excited about that egg in No Man's Sky.
The Moya?
Yeah, well, no, I don't think they call it that.
That's what I call it.
Oh yeah. That's from
Moya from Farscape.
Farscape, yeah. I was going to
say
had
Moya. Moya was a living ship, and she gave birth actually to a little ship. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while since I watched Farscape. Sidebar here: did y'all know Kevin Sorbo actually lived like 25 miles from me for like quite a while? But anyway,
cool.
How would I have known that?
Yeah,
Kevin Sorbo of Farscape fame.
No, he was on Andromeda.
He was in Andromeda, yeah. But that's okay.
Okay.
I
watched both those series literally at the same time, so they mesh in my brain for some reason. So,
yep, one had puppets and the other had Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah. Oh, Claudia Black was in. She was in
Farscape,
right?
And she actually also followed. What's his name when he moved over and was on the last 2 seasons of Stargate SG-1.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Black. Claudia or Ben, what's his name? Claudia came with him. So she played a mischievous little sort of Goa'uld, not Goa'uld, what were the snake guys?
Snakes.
Yeah, Goa'uld. It is because the Jaffas were the guards and the Goa'uld. Yeah. So she was like a Goa'uld whatever that like got her snake taken out, and then she was just the symbiote or whatever. And yeah. She was good in Stargate.
Yeah. So the other thing I was going to mention about, we did a lot of talking about the lore and story of this game tonight, but there's something else about this game that I really love, and that I didn't even really know that there was a story about this game for the first year or so, because I didn't really go reading into it. I didn't really read a lot of Galnet. I was just not interested in a lot of the stuff regarding it. And, the big reason why is because I was more interested in just being the pilot. I was just not the pilot, of course, but just being a pilot and flying around and, learning how to fly the damn ship, learning how to do things in the ship. Mm-hmm. And that was more interesting to me than trying to, what's the story over here today? What's the thing with this? What's the thing with that? And I just wasn't interested in that for some reason. So there's something really cool about a game where you don't necessarily have to take place in the storyline if you just aren't interested. Most of the MMO type games, you get wrapped up in the storyline, basically from step one, and you're dragged along for that story as you go. And don't get me wrong, I like that a lot. I really do. But there's something about being able to just take a step back and just, you're a space trucker. You're a bounty hunter. You're whatever. You're just a star. You're just a star citizen is what you are. You're just a member of the stars.
Wow. So that's actually part of the thing. That's one of the reasons why I think that the story in this game is actually better than the story in all of those other games that you mentioned. The story in all the other games that you mentioned is you can't even avoid it. You start off and there's a guy with an exclamation point over his head, and you have to talk to him to keep, to kind of move forward in the game. And you just keep following exclamation points that turn into question marks that turn into, all the way up to 40-man raids, or now they do lesser, but like it goes all the way up to, you're just dragged along in the story, and it makes it cheap. But in this game, the story has to be sought out, and it's just like real life. The story doesn't give a damn about you. You are just another person. You're not the adventurer who's going to rescue the princess. You're just a guy. It's like Firefly, man. You're just taking mission to mission, moving along, trying to keep going, trying to stay alive, trying to eke out your little piece of the pie. And all of these secrets that are out there that you can uncover, they are all the more rich and valuable because not everyone gets to see them.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to go actually find it. And that's beautiful, man.
It's something I really like about this game. Sidebar here, I'm pulling up next to Dubs and his vet right now. So, but
well, you know what? We should pull Dubs down here.
I was going to say, why don't we? Because it looks like, well, hold on. It looks like Gustafa, Dubs, and Evil Genius, because those are the three I see over here. It looks like they're all on a wing together. That's the way it looks. Why don't we grab all three of them, drag them down here? Because that's something we talked about doing anyway. Let me.
We'll warn them first. Jeez.
I am.
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to pop up there and warn them.
All right, go ahead.
Then
In the meantime, we have to fill dead air. So that was something I was not expecting for some reason. The reason I'm doing this episode like this is because I want it to be. We've been doing a lot of very scripted. I don't want to say scripted because we're not scripting anything. We're doing a lot of very structured, planned episodes.
We're trying to structure it. Yeah.
I wanted this episode to be a little bit more looser because we've all kind of had a very rough week.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's the deal. So joining us in the recording channel is Commander Dubs. How's it going, Bubba?
It's going great.
Also got Commander Evil Genius. How's it going there, Duder?
Doing pretty good tonight, guys.
And we also got Commander Crash. How's it going there, man?
Oh, no, muted.
Yep, he's muted. He's talking.
Oh, hold on. I got to give him. Yeah, hold on.
No, I've already promoted him. He should be able to speak.
He's muted.
There you go.
He is.
Oh, okay.
Try now, Crash.
Hey, how's everybody going?
Pretty good, man. So we are recording episode 25 right now, and one of the things I wanted to do during this episode is I wanted to kind of get everybody to kind of talk about the things they like about this game, and so I'm gonna start with Dubs. So get you to talk for a little about some of the things you like about this game, man.
All right. Well, I mean, as I said last time, the flight model in combat's my absolute favorite part of the game. That's one of the main reasons I even play it.
Super
What
agree.
are some other things that you like, Dubs?
Ooh, other things. Well, the community of this Discord isn't really in game, but that's another thing that I have literally never found in any other game I've played before.
Right on.
Well,
I'm not sure. Kind of caught me off guard with that question there.
I know.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I wanted to say. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to say thank you. I legitimately brought up earlier. You'll hear it later on the show. I brought up how you were helping out Gustafa last night when he got his elite, and you've been helping out people with Coriolis builds and going around. And then you literally, I had to drag you into this Discord. You did not like the idea of Discord. You had never heard a podcast before, and I got you to listen to this podcast actually after you joined the Discord. And now you jump on, and you are like Captain Social. You jump on, and you're like, hey, man, who needs help with whatever? And you're doing stuff with people and mixing it up. And I got to be honest with you, at this point, you're basically, you're, as far as I'm concerned, you're like another member of the crew because you're always just getting in and doing like community outreach stuff with people and like just doing things with them. And that's awesome.
Yeah, I guess I was just a little reluctant to change at first because being I've never used Discord before, it's kind of like, why would I start now? But yeah, I can see now that it would have been a mistake if I'd have turned it down.
So how do you feel about how everything's kind of changed the way you play this game? Because it sounds like you were kind of like me. You were pretty much playing solo.
Yeah,
before.
I was. It's honestly, the game itself is a lot better. I feel like if I would have picked the game back up and not joined the community, I would have definitely gotten bored with it extremely fast and probably would have dropped it a second time.
Yeah.
Because y'all picked me up into the Discord pretty much not long after I picked the game back up.
Yeah, it's funny when we launched this this Discord. I think Kai was the very first person to join it. Like when we announced it, very first person publicly to join it. Anyway, we had some people that we invited privately into it, of course, but
yeah.
I want to say you were like number 4 or something like that, man. And I was going over the squadron ranks earlier, and one of them is the leaderboards, and like we're 33 in Xeno Defense right now. I think a lot of that's probably what you've been doing up yonder, because I'm not sure how much you've been recently, but I know you're up there for quite a while up there.
Yeah, for a solid couple weeks, that was all I was doing.
Yeah.
I know Chig's down there right now, still tearing them up.
Yeah, I must say Chig's up there right now. I knew that. But, man, you have kind of become one of these people that people kind of rely on a little bit, to where they're like, hey, you helped me get my damn Thargoid bobblehead, which will be on every damn ship I ever fly for the rest of this damn game. So,
isn't it great how that's another thing that I love about this game. Yeah, you can go in the ARC store and you can buy this and you can buy that, but they put these neat little trophies in there that it's like, oh, these ones you earn. And honestly, some of the ones that you can buy in the store are, it's like, oh, that's cool. I like this. I like the way that looks. Ooh, look at that ship. Ooh, look at that model. But the ones that you earn, the stuff that you earn is just, you look at it and it just has way more value.
Well, that kind of brings up a good point. Do we want more paints that you can earn?
I want a lot more things that you can earn in game, not having to pay for. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, they also talk about things like money sinks and, taking money out of the game. This is just a wild, crazy thought. But what if they introduced some kind of a thing where you could buy arcs with credits? And again, let me be very, very clear here. I'm not talking about the other way around. I'm not talking about you buy arcs and then you can turn around and trade those in for credits. I'm not talking about that, because that's pay to win and I'm 100% against it. What I'm talking about is you could, if you're a guy that's got, 10 billion credits and you really want a paint job and you say, man, I really want this paint job, but I don't want to spend cash. They could use it as a money sink to take cash out of the game, to take credits out of the game and say, hey, for 100 million credits, you could get, this many arcs and you could buy that paint job that you want.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
That eats into their monies, though.
Yeah, their profits.
Yeah, I think anything that moves in that direction's.
So I understand that it might, but the other thing that they want is to generate hours in game, hours played.
Yeah,
and that hours played, because like that's a thing that you show investors your what is that, your engagement numbers or whatever. And if people are earning things, and I mean, you could maybe have a limit on it, like you can only do it so often or this, that, and the other. But I don't know, just a thought.
I don't think it's such a bad idea. I think that I don't know. I think they're going to
I'd be pumped. Yeah, I'd be pumped. I just don't think anybody at corporate is going to go anywhere near that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, so let me switch gears for a little bit. First of all, Genius, put some pips into system, and because I got a Healy beams. But the second thing is
They're full in systems, my man.
I hear you. Is it Prismatic? Oh, yeah, it's Prismatic. Okay.
Yeah, I should have rebooted them, but whatever.
I got you. Anyway, so talk to us a little bit about what some of the things you like about the game Evil Genius.
Oh, I mean, I'm fairly new to the game. I mean, I started in like the April update or whatever it was. And then I had a daughter who was born. So,
Oh, wow.
It was cool. And then we got to play a lot of late night sessions. So I was able to advance fairly quickly.
Yeah.
With the
What's
help of
been
a
your
lot
favorite
of
style to play?
So.
I don't think you heard just dubs
Oh.
or tracks. Brain
I'm
fart.
sorry. I was saying I was just trying to prompt like what's you're new. What's been your favorite thing to do in the game, like missions or just like out in the res sites or?
I know he's done a lot of exploration.
Exploration.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of done a little bit of everything at this point. I kind of started as a courier, just kind of cruising around courier and stuff until I kind of figured out how to fly them, fly these things. This is kind of interesting. I never had a HOTAS before. I kind of started, I got the game because of VR. I already have VR. So me and my wife are both very heavy into VR, and she does research and stuff with it. So
What kind of rig you got? Our VR rig you got?
I'm still rocking. We got two separate rigs of pretty much the same setup, like 8700K with 1080s, and it's a Vive VR rig essentially.
I got you.
We got the wireless one on the upstairs set. Downstairs is still the old school wired, but they both have the headset.
Yeah.
Right on.
Man, you may have heard me say this before, but I had a religious experience in VR in this game when I first saw Earth in VR, and it was pretty damn cool. I got to tell you.
Yeah, I saw Colo had that as well. That one stream.
Oh yeah,
she had a whole video.
Yeah, she did.
Yep.
So you should have recorded yours, man.
Yeah, what I should have is record mine. That way I could have got all emotional and stuff with it, but I did not record. I was that was long before I did that long before I started doing anything. I did it in solo because I was afraid I would get dead in a open.
Nothing goes on in Soul.
So what would you say are some of your favorite things, Evil Genius?
Oh yeah. So I kind of done a lot of stuff. I mean, most of it for necessity. I don't know. I kind of like the engineering grind. I don't know. I think it's just because I'm forced into it, all the engineered chips I have. But that was kind of honestly going on the surface and kind of scrounging for materials was kind of cool.
I can agree with that. I think I think it's fun sometimes. Like I don't always go to the fastest best stuff. Sometimes I just look around and say like what's that planet made of, or what system state is this? Oh, let's mess with that for a second.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I've ever played a game where you could actually go and do that. So to me, this was a whole new experience. I haven't been playing it for 10 years or however many. I never played the 84 version. I played other space games back in the day, but it was not Elite.
Yeah.
Well, I think the only person we're going to talk to now is Crash, if I'm not mistaken. What are some things you like about Crash?
I'm brand new to the game. I've been here since January. And it's just amazing how much there is to do. Quite a steep learning curve. But other than that, I mean, once you get past that learning curve and in the engineering, it's just got me addicted. I'm drawn in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Man, it's so I know I'm kind of putting you guys on the spot when I decided to do this, and I'm doing that on purpose because this game has meant a lot to me, and this podcast means a lot to me, and I'm not always available like Kai is. Kai's always available. He has a much more flexible work schedule than what I do, I think, and he's definitely our community manager because of that. But it's you guys. I'm going to get all kind of emotional here, so I'm going to turn to my man card again. But you guys mean a lot to me, and we. I hope you guys know that, and I appreciate you guys listening to the show, and I appreciate you guys talking to us. And this is the 25th episode of this show, and I'm hoping that we get to 125 and 225, or maybe I'll die before then. Shit, I don't even know how many years that is.
like 4.
Is it just 4? Shit. I hope it's not just 4. I hope we got a few more years than that.
I hope you're not dead.
I hope I'm not dead too. There's some things I still like to do. So. But
yeah, I mean, we still got to try out mining, man. I understand there's money to be made in that.
Is that right?
A little bit.
Yeah, I'll have to. I was not aware mining was a thing in this video game. I'll have to. This episode is going to. This episode is structured, very strangely, and Evil Genius is getting shot to hell and way, y'all. But it's done this because
this thing don't give a shit what it gets hit with. This thing can sit here with no shields. I got no shields on. It don't matter. This thing just sit here all day. Don't matter.
Yeah. If you get a chance and you're not in combat, reboot your ship and you'll get half of your shields instantly.
Yeah. And I can heal up the rest with my Healy beams. Anyway, does anybody have anything else they want to say before we end this show? Because I think that's going to draw us to the end here. So,
space is vast and great.
Yeah.
+1.
So, the last thing I'll say is everybody who's been with me through this journey, from 0 to 25. Thank you guys for listening, and I hope that we will be around for 125. And a couple quick notes is that, again, sign up for Distant Screws. Check us out at loosescrewsed.com. And last thing is, man, you guys have been great, and thank you guys so much. So that's all I got. So anybody else, anything they want to say?
Real quick, I just want to let people know to hit up, somebody's broadcasting back. Yeah, real quick, I just want to let people know to hit up the Frontier live stream tomorrow. They're doing the 24-hour live stream for charity, for special effects. It'll be awesome. Hit that up. And to sort of make it a good send-off for Paige Harvey. She's going to be leaving Frontier. The 24-hour live stream will literally be her last sort of work at Frontier. She's going to be leaving from Frontier to start her new career. So also, I mean, like, give her a good send off during the stream, and also just also a big send off and warmest wishes to Dr. Kay Ross. Kay was the she is now the lead render person for Elite Dangerous. She was originally so she's a physicist who became a programmer and did the basically creation of the Stellar Forge.
Yeah.
So Kay is a beautiful mind who is going to be leaving Frontier to sort of focus on some things going on in her life, and then also like looking for, you know, new projects and whatnot, I'm sure on the other side of that. But just wanted to give Kay a sort of a really warm send off because she's a genius and deserves it.
Evil genius, maybe. Ha ha.
There you go.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
None of this would be here without the Stellar Forge.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
True.
sidebar here, the Stellar Forge has actually been looked at by NASA, like after the TRAPPIST-1 system was found in real life, and then we found out that it was like ridiculously close to where it was supposed to be when they found it in game. Like I think it was like you're wrong or something like that. It was ridiculously close. NASA has actually looked at some of the Stellar Forge programming for some of their what is it called? Like some of their stellar models and stuff. So I think that's really cool that you know this right here is a perfect example of how video games can bring people together. And you know, video games don't always get the credit they deserve for the positive things that they do. I can tell you right now, I would not be the person I am if it weren't for video games in general, which, you know, depending on how you know me, may or may not be a good thing. So,
For sure, man.
Anyway.
Dubs, what were your closing thoughts, Dubs? I know you were about to say something.
Yeah. My only closing thoughts are stay strapped or get clapped.
We're gonna Trax, you got anything else, man? We're about to end it right.
No, not at all. How about some new reviews on iTunes or else you're listening?
Yeah.
Ratings
yeah.
and reviews, folks. It helps people find the show.
It really does, because it helps us push up on the search stuff. So get more people into our Discord and more people to play with. So
And
right.
I want 3 more PlayStation players to sign up for Distant Screws. Okay, that's it.
And so we'll do. I'm going to do all of the stuff as far as, you know, Kai's question and all that other stuff. We'll get to that next week. We're just taking a break from it this week. Crash, the newest guy in this room to Elite Dangerous. What are your closing thoughts, man? From that perspective, what are you thinking?
I just want to say thank you. I appreciate everything. The podcast has really enlightened me. Not only this one, but others. And it's just been a great experience, and I appreciate everybody.
Right on, brother. Well said. Well said.
Well, one last thing. Again, we are looking for a PlayStation and Xbox Squadron Commander. If you're interested, hit me up in Discord by direct message, and we'll be making decisions soon on that. And I think that's about all we got, guys. As Dubs would say, stay strapped or get clapped. That might be my closing thing from now on, Dubs. I might steal that from you.
Hey, you're welcome to it.
Kai, take us out, man. Do your thing.
Everybody, just be excellent to each other.
Bye, everybody. Thanks again for listening.